Welcome to the Nord of the Lord video tutorial series where we tackle everything with the Nord Stage 3 for use in worship. We love this keyboard at our church. It's just done so much for us. And the thing that's so great about it is you can create song-specific programs. That's what I've done with our entire repertoire. They're in alphabetical order. In the last video, I showed you how to set up a song set on the live mode. And so what we did was we looked at an upcoming service, and it starts with Freedom. And so we've got Freedom in Song 1, and we've got the Risen King Song 2. And on Song 4, we've got Raise the Hallelujah, but Song 3 is a brand new song. It's I Speak Jesus. And so if I take it out of live mode, we don't have a song. We don't have a song for that yet. Okay, so what we need to do is create a new program. Now, if in a pinch, there's no program for a song and you don't have time to create the new program, then I'd suggest you go all the way to the beginning in the A bank, and you can always grab one of these kind of worship sounds, programs that I created that are kind of all-purpose worship pianos with some backing pad, worship pad, electric piano, strings, saw lead, and a Hammond B3. But if you do have time, I think it's most effective to customize it and create a program that's set up just for the song. And so you need to navigate until you find an empty slot or an unnamed slot. And I did that already. I saw that here on N52, it was empty. And so I already named it I Speak. Remember to rename a song, hold down Shift and the Store As, and then the ABC button, and then you can give it a title, and then exit. I'm sorry, you would actually hit Store. Let's do that again, shall we? Shift, Store As, the alphabet, name it, and then when you're done, Store, and then Store one more time. Okay. So we've got a blank slate here. We have nothing selected, no engine selected on panel A or B. And that's because we need to kind of dissect the song. And so I have several tools right at my fingertips. I always have my music up and ready so I can make notes on there. I use an iPad and the music stand app. And then I usually have my laptop connected to the keyboard. And on Planning Center services, you could use your phone, but you need to have an 1/8-inch cable coming out from stereo headphones into the back in this first jack, the monitor in. So this allows you to play tracks or recordings through the keyboard. You could put on headphones, but I have it come in through the speaker here. And as you play the song, let's just go into I Speak Jesus. Over here in the linked song. And we're doing it in the key of E. And the original mix was in E. And so if we just play some of it. Here it comes. Okay, like right off the bat I'm hearing a piano, so I could just turn on my piano engine and go with the first one, Royal Ground. So we know we're gonna have a piano. Over every heart and if you listen carefully, there's some ambient pad going on. So I would usually, if I were you, run through the song a time or two, just to kind of get the basic layout, just start playing chords with the music, start to pick out the various riffs. You can start to make notes on your screen here of where the riffs come in, where you're playing maybe diamonds. Just start to like map it out by making notes on here. And then you need to dissect it further. Now you can go over here in the key of E and play the tracks this way, but I really like having multitracks.com open, and I already queued up I Speak Jesus. Make sure it's in the right key. So we got in the key of E under the rehearsal mix. So you can play the original track from right there, or go down to your keys tracks. So on this song, it's just clearer to see on multi-tracks and easier to kind of quickly navigate around and listen to stuff. So you can click on piano. Now we can really hear that piano.
Verse 1.
That's great. I love that sound. Let's kind of just quickly take a survey of each one. Organ comes in later. Okay, hear that? So I'm already seeing that organ takes a while to come in, and that it's pretty high energy, higher pitched organ. So already in my mind, I know that I'm probably going to split the keyboard at a certain point, probably about 2/3 of the way up. And I heard that piano seemed like it was a little bit lower. So I'm going to put the organ on the right, up higher in the keyboard, and the piano probably in the left. So already I'm kind of figuring out what the program might look like. And then keys 1. Listen to how airy and ambient that is. There is no reason to try to play that live. It's just not going to add much, even if you could figure out how to do piano and organ and keys 1. Because it's so ambient, I would just leave that for the tracks to play. So you're not going to worry about keys 1. You're just going to set up your keyboard for a piano and an organ. And I mean, we can go ahead and make that split. And so to split, you're going to hold down Shift and the split here, and it starts you there. That's probably not going to be high enough. And so use the program knob to raise it up. Oh, maybe there. Maybe there. Here on C, I think it's C5. All right, so I like that. You can add more splits. But the most common is just to have one split. So I don't want to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Go ahead and exit. Okay, we have our split on right there. And so we kind of know that piano we want to put on the left to the split. Let's go ahead and hit Shift and the zone, select, put it in the left. Okay, and organ, let's turn on our organ engine. It's going to be a Hammond B3. And we know we want that to be above the split. So hold down Shift and the zone select until it's in the upper half. Release Shift. That's going to be a little too high. But I might need the piano to be able to go up about this high. And that's going to be way, way too high. So a little trick of the trade here is just to use your octave shift and move it down an octave. That might be pretty good. Or even another octave down. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to just have it be a +1 octave. Okay, there we go. Okay, I already like what I'm doing, and so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I save the program as I go along. So hit store again. Okay, now let's go back to focusing on the piano. Let's really kind of listen in to what type of piano we're hearing and kind of how much reverb, like if the piano is bright or dark or... To my ear, the piano is fairly bright. Now, how about at the beginning of the song? Maybe it starts off a different piano. So let's check out the beginning. It's still pretty bright. So I think I like the, so we're in the grand piano category. I like the Grand Imperial, and I'm gonna put it on bright. That's pretty good. Okay, now, inevitably there is a delay on the piano. And so let's set our master clock to the tempo of the song. And if you go to the top of multitracks.com, you can see the beats per minute is 74. I might have already done that actually, but let's check. So you can set the master clock by holding down Shift, master clock. Oh, nope, it's not. So use the program knob to set the BPM. We're at 74, and then release, and then hit exit. Okay, so the master clock is now 74 beats per minute. Let's turn on the delay effect, and we want it to apply to the piano. And let's tie the delay tempo to the master clock. So to do that, you hold down Shift and rotate this knob just a bit until you see the red light come on. So Shift, rotate it a little bit, that light comes on. Now, this is now a slave to the master clock. And so it will, you can change the tempo knob, but now it will change the types of subdivisions. So let's see what we got. A lot of delay. Okay, and we've got quarter notes. So if we increase this to like eighth, that's not really what the song is doing. I think it's a lower subdivision. So we'll take it back to like quarters. And we just have way too much delay, and so still too much. So I'm just tweaking both the dry, wet, and the feedback until I get to about the delay that I want to my ear. That's kind of nice. Okay. Last but not least, after you get it kind of dialed in with the delay, then add reverb. And delay and reverb together make for a great combination. I like stage 1 reverb right at about noon, maybe 1 o'clock. Oh yeah. That makes such a huge difference. Just dialing in your delay, putting on the right amount of reverb, picking the right kind of piano. It's going to be a little bit brighter is what I'm hearing. Even in the beginning, it's got a pretty bright tone. I think that's because of that riff. It needs to kind of come out in the mix, and so we want to err on the side of bright. I like what I've done. I'm gonna save my program, I Speak Jesus, by hitting that twice. Okay. Now let's go back here to the multi-tracks and let's see if we can listen to the organ. And then we want to try to kind of match that. So the organ comes in a little bit later.
Verse 1.
I can hear the rotary speaker engage and then disengage. It's pretty bright. Oh, it gets even brighter there. You hear that? Oh, even brighter, higher octave. Wow. So I actually think that I might need to change the split a bit. No, I think what I need to do is I do need to have a lower octave. And so I'm gonna do another octave down. Okay, another thing I like to do is have the sustain pedal be able to activate the organ. By default, it's not turned on. Let's hold down Shift and then hit sustain pedal here on the organ engine. And so now I can use the sustain pedal. Oh, there we go. To my ear, that's about the perfect range of notes to cover what I hear in the recording. Okay, not only that, but at the beginning when the organ comes in, it's not all the stops all the way out. That's kind of like the brightest, fullest that you could go. But I would kind of like taper it. Maybe like, taper it like so. This is kind of a nice way of, yeah, kind of start there. And then as the song grows in intensity, you can even see that with these waveforms. See how the waves are a little bit not as loud. And then it gets fuller. Then we can bring in pull these drawbars out. But let's attach that to the mod wheel, because that's a really handy way of doing it. So go to the morph assign category, hold down wheel, and then these dots show you the starting points of the wheel in the all the way down position. And then while you hold the wheel button, you want to move these to the end points. And then release the wheel button. And now, with your wheel, you can bring in those higher overtones. And so it sounds like this. And using the sustain pedal, you can hit a note and then bring these in and out. See how that works? Oh, it just makes for a really good effect, and it really works with the dynamics of the song. It's just such a good way of playing. You know, that's where the music really happens, is in kind of like the dynamics and the shifting tones of these amazing engines that you have here. Now, I almost always like to engage the rotary speaker with the organ. It just adds a lot of tone depth, and so we're gonna turn it on. It's on the organ, and listen already to so much more depth to it. Turn on the Leslie speaker. Can use some drive. I usually like to turn on percussion. Take the volume soft off. So nice. You can play along with the recording a bit. back to piano. So you got your piano on the left hand, you got your organ up here. Now, I'll often keep a piano sound going with my left hand while I play with my right. It's really hard to show you right now because I have to hold this camera. But with the left hand, you could just do split octaves or put the fifth in there. Your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. While you're doing that with your right hand and the organ, you can kind of keep a piano thing going by doing octave split, maybe throwing the fifth, and then put them together so that, because in the recording, the piano doesn't disappear. You know, it's still in there. All right, so this is one of those cases where you have to decide if you want to compromise a little bit. If you're the only keyboard player and you're trying to cover both piano and organ, what I would do is I wouldn't be covering quite the piano parts that they do, because I want to start really branching out and jamming on organ. And so you can kind of do it. Dun, 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 dun. But you'd really need to use both your hands to do it exactly like the recording. You'd have two different players. Now, sometimes that's the case where we'll have two keyboardists, someone really covering just piano, and then that would free you up to just do that Hammond organ work. In which case, if you were only using the organ, I would take off the split and I'd do more like sweeps, like in and out, and use the fuller range of the keyboard. But again, I have found that on quite a few of our songs that have organ and piano, I'm able to put a split point, and I'm pretty effectively able to play organ up here in my right hand and piano in my left. Okay, so we've really dialed this in, I feel, and so we're gonna store that. Hit the store button once, hit it twice, and now we're gonna save it to our live set. We're gonna save it to live 3, so store, live 3, hit store again, boom. Now in the live mode, we have all 4 songs in order. We can go from one to the next, and we're all set for rehearsal for Sunday morning, and it's gonna be great. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got something out of this is just my process, and yours, of course, could look different, but make sure you do have a good, solid preparatory process. And again, you know, if it's your first time playing a certain song, maybe you just want to start by trying to cover the piano part and not worry about organ or keys, and just leave that in the tracks. Just work with the music director and the worship pastor to see what the best approach would be. But I think the more things that you can play live, the more organic it's all going to feel, and it's just going to help with all those dynamics with the band. All right, thanks so much.